Hello everyone, my name is Lokesh and a warm welcome to my channel. I am the founder of Job Ladders Recruitment Consultancy based in Mumbai. Today we are going to learn some important tips and information about how to write a professional resignation letter. We will also be learning about all the do's and don'ts of writing a resignation letter. So stay with me till the end of this video to learn more on today's topic. But before we begin, let me remind you that if you are a first time viewer or if you have landed on my channel for the first time, then click on the subscribe button and the bell icon so that you will receive the notifications of my videos as soon as I upload them. And I would also request you to share this video as much as possible so that we can reach out to many more people. So let's begin this video. Just as important it is to learn how to clear an interview and join an organization, it is equally important to know how to leave your current organization. As all of you know, there are certain procedures while joining an organization. Similarly, there are also some predefined procedures and formalities to be complied while leaving any organization. A very important task and the very first procedure in writing a resignation letter. And believe me, telling your current organization about your willingness to leave them is indeed a very difficult task. The transition from your current organization to a new organization should be very smooth instead of creating an awkward situation with your current employer. So you see, a resignation letter has to be drafted very carefully since it will be the last impression that you will be leaving with your employer. Now, how do we draft this letter? What are the important points to be mentioned in the resignation letter? To whom the resignation letter has to be addressed to? What kind of language is to be used? Let's learn about this one by one. So the first thing is how to draft this letter. As per my opinion, the resignation letter has to be relatively shorter in length and should be to the point. In the very first paragraph of the resignation letter itself, make it sure to mention your reason of resigning from the organization. Once you have drafted the resignation letter, just go through it thoroughly and do proofreading before you decide on submitting it. If you feel any corrections regarding the language or spellings are necessary, just go ahead and do them. You don't want your letter to sound unprofessional. Now let's discuss about what all important points have to be covered in your resignation letter. Like I said just a few moments ago, you need to mention your reason of resigning from the organization in the very first paragraph. Avoid mentioning the reason in the second or the third paragraph. Like I said, your resignation letter has to be to the point. Here you need to take extreme caution when you mention the reason of resigning. Each one of us may be having different reasons for leaving the current organization. It could be some career advancement opportunities or completely changing your field, or it could be some personal family issues. However, many a times an employee leaves an organization due to some reasons like some unfavorable working environment, unprofessional managers or superiors, or any such other reasons which may be considered negative in nature. So in such cases, always avoid complaining or criticizing the organization or its employees, simply because you don't want to leave the organization with a very bad taste. Also, this may create a problem when you move on to another organization. Nowadays, the practice of background verifications of new employees is being strictly followed by many organizations. So when your track record with the previous organization is checked by the current organization, you may end up getting a negative score on your resume. So no matter how strong your candidature is or how strong your resume is, the organization will not consider you an ideal candidate to have on board. The next point that you need to mention in your resignation letter would be regarding your last working day in the organization. It depends upon the notice period clause that you have agreed upon while joining the organization. It may be 15 days, 1 month, 2 months, or even 3 months. So depending upon the duration of the notice period, calculate the last working day accurately. Moving on to the next thing. It is always a sign of professionalism when you ensure your employer that as long as you will be serving your notice period, you will work with the same dedication and put in all your efforts during this period as you had been doing it earlier. Please remember that just because you have a few days of employment left with the current employer, it doesn't mean that you can take your work casually. And it makes sense, because there is no point in degrading the quality of your work just because your days with the current employer are numbered. Like I said earlier, this will give a negative score on your resume when the background verification process is carried out by the next employer. Now, what kind of language should we use in the resignation letter? This is also a very important aspect of a resignation letter. The answer is simple. The letter should sound very professional. It doesn't matter even if you are leaving the organization on some unfavorable terms. But still make sure that you give credit to your employer for giving you a chance to serve the organization. Also, for whatever growth you have achieved under your superiors, please make it a point to mention the names of such superiors. In fact, not only superiors, but also your co-workers and subordinates. Avoid using any controversial or derogatory words. What I am trying to say is that you should reflect on all the positives of the organization. After all, the organization has given you your daily bread and butter during your tenure with them. It would also be nice if you offer them to serve the organization at some point in the future once again. You can also offer them to help the organization in the training of the replacement candidate till the day you would be associated with them. Lastly speaking, we need to ensure that your resignation letter is addressed to the right authority. In almost all the cases, your resignation letter needs to be addressed to your immediate superior. If the medium of your resignation letter is through electronic mode, then you can also mark a copy of the email to the HR manager, the CEO, or the director, whoever is at the upper hierarchy. So I hope that you have much more clarity about how to write a professional resignation letter to facilitate a smooth transition. In our next video, we will try to understand about how the employee needs to perform during the notice period. In case if you have any queries, opinions or suggestions regarding the content that we have discussed in this specific video, then please leave a comment below. I will be replying to them personally on priority. Once again, I would like to remind every one of you to hit that subscribe button and the bell icon and keep on supporting my channel, which will encourage me to bring more quality content for all of you. Please share this video with as many people as you can so that we would be able to reach out to maximum people. See you again in the next video. Thank you.